name is Bill. Welcome to Spare Time at Home. Today's class is Strength Circuit for over 40. Ready? Let's get started. Today's circuit is really intended for people 40 and over, although people of any age can try this. There are a couple of cautionary bits of information, however. Number one, make sure you warm up a full dynamic warm-up, and I'll take you through several of those movements so you can see what an appropriate warm-up would be. You don't want to do this exercise cold. The idea of a strength circuit is you use heavier weights, you use fewer repetitions. You really need to be sure of your form and of your balance. And if any of these exercises are new to you, then I urge you, practice these exercises individually with lighter weight until you're confident and comfortable with the movement and you can do it with good form and control. Make sure you practice all those individual exercises before you attempt the circuit, because as the circuit goes on, you're going to get more fatigued. And when you get more fatigued, form generally degrades a little bit. So we have 5 exercises. We're going to do a clean and thruster with dumbbells. So I have a couple of dumbbells here that I've selected. A clean is picking up dumbbells from this position up to the top of the shoulders. Then we're going to go into a squat. Then we're going to stand up and press overhead, come down, and return the dumbbells to the starting position. That's 1 rep. We're going to do 8 to 10 of those. That may not sound like many, but if you're using the right amount of weight, it's going to be plenty, believe me. The next exercise we're going to do is a bent over dumbbell row, and I'll show you that from the side. You're going to be like this. Hips go back. So just stand here like with your hands on your knees, and this will give you a good idea of the angle of your back, and you're going to keep that arch in your back right there. Then you're going to pick up your dumbbells. You're going to have them right here, and you're going to pull straight back. Get those shoulders nice and high, those elbows nice and high. And again, 8 to 10 of those. The next exercise is we're going to grab 1 dumbbell and do what is called a single carry. So imagine you have a heavy bag of groceries, and you're going to hold that dumbbell in one hand, and you're just going to stride forward 20 strides total, so 10 on each leg. And you're just going to walk forward, and the idea is as you do that, you want to keep your shoulders level. You don't want to allow your heavy side or your weighted side to come down, and by the other hand, you don't want to overcompensate. So the idea is to keep a nice upright posture, walking posture, as you go back and forth with that heavy weight. And that's terrific for hip stabilizer muscles, core muscles. You're going to feel it if you're using the right amount of weight. The next thing we're going to do is an anti-rotation exercise. In my previous workout, we did a rotation exercise where we grabbed a weight and came up like this. Now that's a dynamic rotation because you're going through a full range of motion. On this exercise, we're going to resist the tendency to rotate. And we do that by grabbing a resistance band. And so now this is pulling me this way. I'm going to start here with my hands right in the center of my chest. This is called rack position because you can stabilize the weight more easily. We're going to push this straight out and hold it there. Now because we have tension on this side, it wants to pull me this way, and I'm resisting that. And so all of my core muscles are lit up right now. You'll have to take my word for that. I know you can't see any motion, but believe me, I can feel them all right now. And we're going to do small circles, just like this. And if you watch my torso, you can see that my arms are not moving. Rather, it's the torso that rotates back and forth, up and down a little bit. So imagine you're in a body cast, something that forces your arms right out in front of you. The hands come together in the midline of your body, and that's where they stay for the duration of the exercise. The last exercise we're going to do is a dumbbell snatch. And I'm going to demonstrate this just with a lighter dumbbell right now. this is an explosive exercise, and this is one of those ones that's probably not going to be familiar to most of you. However, I want you to give this a try. This is terrific for balance, core strength, developing explosive strength. You're going to start right here. Now I'm bent over part way, and I'm just holding this dumbbell right here. This is called a hang position. I'm going to explode upward with my whole body, so legs, shoulders, bring this dumbbell straight up in one motion overhead. Very careful, keep this nice and tight, let this down right here, and then over the waterfall and back down into a hang position. Straight up, bring it down to here slowly, control it, and over. And that's the dumbbell snatch. Again, we're going to do 8 of those on a side, and it doesn't sound like much, but if you're using the right amount of weight, it's more than enough. Strength exercises, by their nature, and if you're using the right amount of weight, the right intensity, really takes it out of you. So I recommend that you do this maybe once a week. So this is not an every workout type of thing. You want your muscles to grow stronger, and you do that by applying more stimulation to them than they're used to. Most important, however, you have to get sufficient recovery time. So your muscles don't get stronger, they don't get bigger while you're working out. They get stronger while you're resting, while you're sleeping, while your body is rebuilding from the workout. One additional word about selecting the appropriate weight. If you're not using the right amount of resistance, this exercise is not going to get the results for you that you're looking for. So choosing the amount of weight is critical. Generally speaking, if you can do 15 repetitions with a weight, and by that I mean repetitions, say 12 through 15, are getting difficult, and you notice your form degrading. You can't complete the repetition without doing something with your body to help boost that weight up. That is about 65% of what we estimate might be your maximum weight. And so you want to get to a point where you can do 8 to 10 repetitions, and that's all you can do. After you do that set, you're going to rest. So with the strength circuit, enforced rest between sets, between exercises, is critical to you being able to develop the right amount of strength to complete each of these exercises, but also to get the strength gains that you're looking for. We're going to start right out with the first exercise, which is the dumbbell clean and thruster. Now, I know from previous experience that 20 pounds would be a good weight for me. I can do this 15 times. Here, I'm just going to do it 8 times so you can see the proper form. And then if I were to do this on my own, I would start off with heavier weight and do the 8 to 10 repetitions. So with the 220s right here, pick this straight up, down, all the way up, and down. Pick it up, that's 2. 3. Now you notice with a heavier weight, I'm using my body momentum to get these up. Straight up to the top of the shoulders, straight down, all the way up. Do 3 more. Last one. 2. Okay. Now, if you don't want to do the air squat, if you don't want to go down quite that far in the squat position, that's fine. You can use a chair, and as soon as your bottom hits the seat, you're right back up again. Next exercise, we're going to do the bent over row. I know from experience that I can do this with a little bit more weight. But again, I caution you, if you're not used to doing this, do it with lighter weight. And it's going to take some experimentation. It's well worth your time. So the first couple of times you go through this, you may be using weight that's too light, Or you may be thinking to yourself, I don't need this much rest. If you don't need that much rest, you're not using the right amount of weight. You need to grab heavier weight. So for this, I'm going to grab the 30s. I'm going to turn this way. Feet about 6 inches apart. Bend straight forward, and the elbows are coming back and up. 1. Better do more. All right. That's the bent over row. And now we're going to do the single carry. Because of the tight frame here, I'm only going to be able to do 1 or 2 strides in each direction, but you would take 10 strides with each leg. Not an exaggerated length, but a regular stride. And again, keeping the hips straight, keeping the shoulders level the entire time. And so you're going to grab that dumbbell. It's going to be right here. And as you walk forward, you're going to not lean, not overcorrect. So just straight forward. Next, we're going to do the anti-rotation. Pick this right here. And this is a medium heavy resistance band. Again, you're going to start right here in the center and push this out. Imagine that body cast. Your arms are locked out in front of you, and you're not going to be able to move your arms at all unless you move your torso a little bit. So you're going to come down in the circle. Now the whole time I do this, my body is under tension. So we're going to do 10 of those, 10 back the other direction. When you have done 10 in the other direction, you're going to pull that in, take a little breath, turn around and face the opposite direction so the resistance comes from the opposite side. So turning this around, and now you're going to go through that same motion. Now the dumbbell snatch. I'm going to do 5 of these on each side. We're going to use the 30 so you can see what it looks like when you have a little bit of weight. So I'm going to hang this right here. Explode upward. This goes straight overhead. And you're going to have to try this a few times. Start with a lighter weight. Make sure you have your balance. So you're down, all the way up. So now when I execute that movement with enough explosive force, my heels actually come up off the ground. So now I'm going to hold this nice and tight, control it right down to here, and now as it comes over, I'm just going to let it go over and then catch it at the bottom. As soon as it's down here, I'm going to start my second one. Careful, slow exhale, slow exhale. Let it over and start the third rep. Straight up, nice and easy. 4. And last one. Straight down and up. Ideally, when you get this up here, you don't want a lot of waving around. You want it to come straight to the top in a balanced position. And you may notice that you're going to wobble around a little bit. That's all part of learning the exercise. Also very important, why you don't want to use too much weight too quickly. Let that down under control, and set it down and get ready to switch sides. Okay, other side. This is still the dumbbell snatch. And you'll start right down here, straight overhead. Down, carefully, carefully. Everything's very tight in here. And straight over, number 2. Down, carefully. 3. This is 4. Straight down. And last one, 5. Don't rush through these. And straight down. Okay. Now, even though I haven't taken the rest during this video, the rests are so important. You really need to be pretty fully recovered before once you terminate one exercise and begin another. And so my recommendation to you is, between your exercises, take at least 60 second rest. Sit down, little drink of water, let your heart rate come down a little bit before you begin the next exercise. At the end of the sequence or the circuit, I want you to take 2 to 3 minutes. This is going to seem like a lot of rest to people using lighter weight. But as you get up to the heavier weight, you're going to be very thankful for this. This workout is designed for you to do 2 to 4 circuits. 2 circuits may be a good beginning point until you develop a little bit more endurance or that ability to rest and recover and then come back and give a maximal effort, because that's another thing that you're training here along with strength, is the ability to recover quickly and put forth a maximal effort time after time. That's an important part of the strength gains. Okay. Just to wrap up, this has been Strength Focus for folks over 40. I would encourage you to take your time as you get into this routine. Get comfortable with the exercises at a lighter weight until you're really comfortable with the movement itself, and then start adding weight. So this isn't something you're going to be able to do right out of the box, but it's going to be well worth an investment in time to select the right amount of weight. Again, you want something that really tires you out eventually at 8 to 10 repetitions. Start off with 2 sets or 2 circuits, build up to 4. When you get to the point where you can do 4 circuits and you're tired after every exercise and you need that recovery time, then it may be time for you to pull back to 2 circuits but increase the weight again. Okay, and that's how you build strength. I hope you found this helpful. I look forward to seeing you at the club. Thanks.